So today we're going to be going through the implementation of the Feb Shred, just the shred. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but we call it the Feb Shred. So last week I walked you through the what it is, why we do it, and then the overall how. And then we've gone ahead and we've set up a lot of things for you in the background. So we've set up workflows for when someone opts in and when someone becomes a member. So they pay their money. So they're all set up, and we're going to show you that today. You can edit them and publish them. We've made a landing page for you as well, so you can edit that and then publish it. And then the database push is the emails that you can send to your database, both non-members and your current members, trying to sell them to go to the landing page and put in their details to sign up for the shred. Cool. And then if you're going to be doing creatives, like Facebook ads, if you want to publish this externally to try and acquire new clients, you can definitely do that. There's some creative templates we've made for you. We can then help you set them up. And then you want to have a workflow for the people that opt into that, obviously to try and get them to sign up to the gym and get the shred included. So today we were just going to be walking through those one by one. So what you will need to do is head to your CRM. And then head to your automations. So most of you guys should have this, but if you go to automations, we've already pre-managed this for you by going to, actually, let's go and do it in Tiny's. Automation, and we've got a folder here called where is it, Juan? Should be seasonal campaigns.
Let me go find it for you, my friend.
Nope. All right. Can we get that across there ASAP, please, Juan, to everyone? Here's what it will look like is there should be a folder called seasonal campaign calendar. And then inside that, you're going to have campaign packs January, February. So go to February, and then you can see all the different workflows here. So you've got the new lead sequences for Meta if you're doing Facebook ads. And then what we're going to work on first is the opt-in but didn't purchase. So this is for anyone who goes to your landing page, opts in, because it's going to be a two-step landing page, which means they're going to opt in with their name, phone number, email. And then once they press next step, it's going to take them to the next step, which is the billing. Now, if they don't do the billing, we still get their details and we can send them a series of text messages and or emails. So all you need to do is just tell me whether you like this text message or if you want to change it, you can change it. And then all you need to do is publish it. So just let me know, does everyone have that in their CRM right now? Just comment in the comments box and say it's there or it's not there. Jules, do you have it in your one? You've got it. Josh? Can't find yours, Josh?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I'll let it now for you, mate.
Cool. So just, yeah, we'll give you a few seconds to do that. We have to manually push them to each sub account, so sometimes we get we don't know which ones we've sent it to. But we'll send it to you, Tani, now, and we'll send it to Josh now. Yep, we can help you set that up, Harry. Yep, Tani, you've got it. Cool. So just go to 01 Feb opt-in but didn't purchase Feb Shred. That's what you guys are editing. And if you don't really need to edit it too much, or you're pretty happy with it, you're happy to come back later and have a look. Like they're pretty generic and they're pretty solid. They're going to suit most businesses. So if you want, you can just publish it now. And then so we can keep moving, you can come back and edit those later. Makes sense? All right. So the next one guys, is going to be your sale of the Feb Shred. So watching my screen. Now the trigger for this one is going to be in funnel website, February. So the name of the Feb Shred that we're doing, and the submission type is going to be sale. Cool. You'll be able to change that later. If it's not showing up right now, then you'll be able to do that later once you've published the template for the landing page. Cool. So what we're going to do, the first thing, you don't have to do anything here, but just so you know what's going on, is we're going to remove the tag that says Feb Shred opt-in 2026, because if they're a sale, they would have had to have opted in, so we can remove that. We're also going to remove them from the opt-in workflow, so they stop getting messages from that workflow. And it's actually the opt-in workflow takes 15 minutes. So if they put their details in, then they pay, they'll never get that other workflow unless they don't do it within 15 minutes. Then you've got welcome to the Feb Shred 2026 email. And now this is one that you will have to edit depending on what you're going to be giving them. So you'll add your link to the Facebook group here. Hey, contact first name, welcome to the Feb Shred. We're excited to have you. Future correspondence is going to be by the private Facebook group. So the only thing you need to do right now is to link this, click this link and join the Facebook group. Who's going to be using a Facebook group for this one? Yep. Have you made that Facebook group yet? No. Don't do that now. I'll show you how to do it. So if you're making a Facebook group, you'd go to groups, create new group, do the group name, and then you would make it private, and then that's it. Now, what I will do is show you how to change is this for members or everyone? How do you mean, Jules? Do you mean is the Facebook group for everyone, or is this whole Feb Shred for everyone?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I missed the first bit. Is this for our members, or can we run ads to get leads into this?
Yeah, so last week we explained how it all works.
Okay.
The way it works is it's a nutrition challenge, right? So it stands alone from the gym. So ideally, most of your members is going to be your highest sort of uptake of this.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be trying to acquire members to come into it, what we do is we say, join the gym and you get the shred for free.
Yeah.
So you don't run it as you're not running it as like a 21-day thing or anything like that. I mean, you can. It just means, just a lot more explaining to do. So if you want to promote the shred externally, essentially they get their membership and then they can join this nutrition challenge for free.
Yeah.
Or a cheaper price than the members price. And then everyone goes into the same group. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I missed last week. I should have rewatched it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go back and watch it. It'll make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, they train at the gym. They can even train not at the gym and they can still do the shred because all of the habits are quite universal.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you have made your Facebook group, guys, go to group settings and you can change the name and description. You can do all this later. So for now, all we need to do is we need to change the web app's address. So it's going to give you some random numbers. If you don't want to change it, that's totally fine. But we change it every year just to keep the slug more consistent. So change it to whatever you want to change it to. And then make sure then going forward, you use that whole slug. So it's going to be that there. And that's what you would paste here. Done. Very good. First invest dress. Lovely. Cool. So now we can link that to our workflow. So let me go ahead and go back to sharing. And then I generally do the same thing in the SMS too. So I'll say something like, hey, contact, first name, welcome to the Feb Shred. Here's your next steps. Add yourself to the Facebook group. And then you can check out our amazing guides and other resources in there. And then keep an eye on your Facebook notifications, prepare yourself some epic content. That's all they need to do for now. Now, it's up to you whether you want to go ahead and add more emails to this. Because remember last week I said that we were going to be drip feeding an email each day based on, some information in here. You don't have to, but if you have, as well as doing the post every single day, you can then email them every single day just to make sure that they're checking their Facebook group. You could either add them to the member sale, or if you wanted to, we can go ahead and you can create a second workflow that is based on a certain time. So that would be wait for event appointment time. Oops, sorry. Event. And it's going to be exact time. Where's the exact time? We'll set this up after. I have to play around with that. So what we can do is we can make it start. So from Monday, for example, because what we don't want to happen is like if you wait 3 days because you're making the email today and you say, oh, Monday's in 3 days' time, you need to remember that not everyone is signing up at the same time. So what you can do is you can set an event start date and then emails will follow after that.
Yeah. So Brando, you just got to add the set event first and then the wait.
There you go.
step.
Specific date and time. So you choose Monday 2nd and you choose the time. So let's say 6. Cool. There we go. Thank you. I was wondering how that worked. So, and you can actually rename this as well if you wanted to. So it'd say 6 a.m. Monday. Cool. And then you do wait until. Is that right, Mario?
Yep.
Exact
And then
time.
exact time.
There you go. And then move to next step. Cool. And then you'd
always
start to
remember
write.
to save the workflow.
What's that?
Always remember to save the workflow. There's so
Yeah.
many times that I've forgotten to save it.
Cool. And then you could start drip feeding your emails from there. So you'd send the first one at 6 a.m. Monday. So you'd write email or SMS. If you want to do it by SMS, it's going to cost you a lot more. So I'll do email, but you could write email and then you'd sort of just say, wait 24 hours, send email, wait 24 hours, send email, wait 24 hours, send email, and just do it like that. And that way you could drip feed the whole entire process, do it once, set and forget. You'd be able to then copy that over and over and over in the future. So it is actually quite handy. Cool. But let's move on from that. So that's your sale. So that's what happens if people sign up to the Feb Shred. Now what we need to do is we need to go to sites and start building out the funnels, which we can do. February template. Let me know, guys, if you can find that. So you're going to go to sites, then you're going to go to funnels, you're going to go to campaign pack, landing pages, and then you should be able to see the February template there. Now, I think we can, for some people, we can help you build these out, can't we, Mario? Get John to help. Like Tani, I think we said
Absolutely.
we'll do yours for you. So don't worry about the design right now. As long as
The copy.
you're fairly happy with it, what you want this to be is a get started button. And then you want the button to be a pop-up that has a 2-step order form in it. So you go button, pop-up is up here. You don't have the Feb Shred one. Can we get that one in Josh's, please? Cool. Just follow along here, Josh, and you should be able to do it fairly quickly after. So you've got a 2-step order form, which essentially means the first step is going to be bit more info. The second step is going to be billing. Now, what you do is you click in the middle of the form somewhere, and you'll notice that on the side here, you've got all these different things that you can start to change. So I'm actually going to hide company name, and I'm going to change shipping to your info because it's actually more their info, and just say this one. What's your contact details? And then I'm going to come down the bottom here and hide shipping because we're not shipping anything. So now it's really simple form. It's just got full name, email address, phone number. And we can then come down the bottom and even change all this stuff down here if you might want it to be more blue, more teal. You can change all the text. And I'm sure there's a few different things you can change in there. Cool. Change content, styles. But keeping it fairly simple, that's pretty much it. Now, Mario, what's this deal with sticky contacts at the moment? Does that make it slower?
Uh, I like to keep it off purely because a lot of people like to also have the page in their gym so that people can actually sign up there. But then what happens is that like the contacts go all weird and updates and all that kind of stuff. So I would keep that
Okay.
off.
So leave sticky contact off. So that's it. Now what we can do is we can go down the bottom here and you can see that we're editing step 1 at the moment. Step 2, we can now edit step 2. And we're going to change that from your info to your package, maybe. Get rid of upgrade your order and save. We don't need that. And then essentially what this is going to do now is it's going to be a dynamic item where essentially we need to create products after this. So I'll show you how to do that. But that's all we need to do for now. This is just an example. That is all we need to do. So we can actually click save and then publish. If it doesn't let you publish it right now, it might be because you don't have a domain name. So what you need to do here is click on the domain name that's available. If that doesn't work, just let us know after and we'll be able to help you. Now, it generally asks when you go to publish it, all this stuff on the side here, like content, keywords, social image. I definitely recommend having a social image and just some content because if you are sending this to people via a link, it is going to show up as that. You know, when you send someone a link via Instagram and it shows like a little preview of that link, that's all this stuff here. It's called SEO metadata. You probably don't need keywords and things like that because you're not really trying to get people to find it online. So wouldn't spend too much time on that. Now that's it. Like I said, we can edit this for you based on your colors and things. So let us know if you want us to do that. And then we're going to go back and we now need to choose a product that would be visible on the Feb Shred. So we're going to go add product. Product is going to be Feb Shred. So you can make your own product here by just typing it in. What do you have to click here? I'll click here. There you go. Create a new product by clicking there, and then you can create your product, which will be Feb Shred, and then you can choose to have members price or non-members price. You can have them both there, and I find that a little bit easier than having to make double workflow sometimes, just by having the two different prices. If you find that a non-member purchases it, then you can just go into Stripe and make them pay more after the fact if they try and be dodgy. So what you might do is you might create a product that says Feb Shred member price. And the reason why I like doing that as well is because the members then see that they're getting it cheaper than people who aren't members. So you can make that, say, $47, and then you can make the non-member price $97. So go ahead and create those products. All right, cool. So I'll share my screen again. This is just to make sure. So we've created the product. Now we actually need to go back to sites and we need to make sure that the product is actually brought into the funnel itself. So just because we made products in payments and now we need to add the product here. So you just go here, products, add product, and it should be listed there by now. And then you save it and it now will show up in the two-step order form in part 2. A few other things you need to remember is the publishing. If you want it to say blah, 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 /Feb 2026, then you need to make sure you go ahead and change that. And that will then be what you can send to people to go to that URL. So there's always little things you can do. You need to make sure you've got a domain, path. Lovely. So once that's live, and we should be able to get those live by the end of today, the next thing we need to think about is the database launch and sending that landing page to as many people as possible. So once you've got the link to that, then we can start thinking about the seasonal campaign calendars and the database launch. So we've got a database push in here for non-members, and we have a database push in here for members. So you're going to just change them slightly if you're going to be sending them different stuff. If you're not, you just do one and just include everyone. So what I mean by that is if you're going to be talking about pricing or something to non-members and you want to try and get people to sign up to the Feb Shred, sign up to your gym and then get the Feb Shred for free, then you're going to be having slightly different messaging. So you're better off creating 2 separate workflows. Cool. So all you need to do here is change these emails to sound more like what you want them to sound like. They're pretty decent to start with, but obviously you need them to sound like your business. So there is 6 emails. And then you need to reverse engineer it just to make sure, and we can help you do this as well, to make sure that they go out on time. So if you're doing your Feb Shred on Feb the 2nd, you want to make sure you're waiting 10 days after Jan 31st. No, so 10 days after the 21st, which would be Jan 31st. So yeah, if that doesn't make sense, just go ahead and write the emails, edit the emails to be how you want them to be. Obviously making sure you're including the link. If you're sending this to non-members, I recommend the call to action should just be something like reply to this email if you want more information, or click this link to book a call if you want more information, because you're trying to get them to sign up to the gym. So you're treating it like an actual new lead, not trying to get them to go to the Feb Shred page. Okay. So for now, just head into those workflows and just spend the next 10 minutes just checking over the non-members workflow. So yeah, Harry, I'll show you the how to do that. So you had to make the product first, remember? And then what we did just then was we went back to sites. So you make the product in payments.
Yeah, I've got the product and I've done it on
Yeah.
the site as
And
well.
then go back to sites.
Yeah.
And then we added it here to the Feb template. So what we did was we went to products.
Yeah.
And that'll automatically add it to the 2-step for you.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything at the 2-step part. Cool. And if you've never looked at this as well, guys, in the site section, you can actually see stats. So I really recommend you start looking at these stats. It tells you how many people viewed it, how many opt-ins and stuff there were. So once you start doing this, you might see that a lot of people are opting in, but not many people are buying, or a lot of people are viewing, but no one's opting in. So therefore, you might need to change something. Cool. So that's that. That's the workflows, the database push. So you just need to spend some time editing those. I think it's quite hard to try and edit something like that when you've got a time demand. So I'll let you guys play around with that after, but just know that, yeah, make them sound like you. The next thing we need to focus on would be the creatives. We can send those. Where's that link, Mario? Do we have that somewhere? We can do creatives anyway, can't we? Yeah. So if you want creatives, just let us know. Same with the ads. We can get them launched for you guys. If you're going to be doing a Feb Shred and you want that to be your main advertisement on Facebook or Meta, let us know and we'll do the creatives and the copy for you. And the next thing, I suppose, is the resource and the guides. Have you guys thought about how you want to deliver your resources and what resources you're going to have? Or if you're going to be delivering them as guides? Use the same as last shred. That's good. What order? Do you know what yours are? Do you have bullet points for what they are? Cool. So we made these ones, so feel free to steal some of these if you want to try and do the nutrition presentations. So Josh said, I found the guides worked well, but having resources on the page didn't really get looked in. So I think implementing the emails, having resources. Yeah. So what you can do is, come up with a bit of a curriculum that you'd like people to go through. And if they went through that curriculum, would they have a much better chance of succeeding? So it could be things like, here's how to get started. And then you might do the foundations of fat loss, setting your targets, tracking your food, busting myths, meal prep hacks, how to eat out on a diet, how to stay social, meal substitutions, and then the diet of minds, the mindset of diet or diet mindset. You can make these whatever you want. Like this is just what we do. I make a presentation for each of them. Well, I did at least some of them. And then what you can do is that could be your guides. So when you go to your Facebook group, each guide could literally just be one of those. So welcome to the shred. Get started. Number 2 could be the foundation of fat loss. And what I do is inside here, I have a video and then I've just got a bunch of information that I've sort of, oh no, that one's different. So yeah, welcome to the Feb Shred. The foundation of fat loss. That one is a video and just some stuff from GPT that explains the video from a script that I made beforehand. Then it's setting your target. So it's almost like each presentation is one guide, one section of the guide. If you don't want to make a presentation, you could just literally have information on each of these. And then you could just link it to a Notion page if you wanted to do that. So as long as you've got some information in there, the whole point of a shred is to use your unique philosophies to make it sound like you and the way that you do things. So just think about it. What do you want people to know about nutrition? Can you break that down into modulated steps? And then, if possible, can you make each one of those a guide? That makes it really easy for people to see. And then what I'd be doing is, depending on how many resources you have, you'd be linking that guide inside the email each day. That's it, really. The more resources you've got, if you don't have that many resources, if you don't have 28 different resources, you can just start to recycle them. So if you've got 7, this list, Tony. Just screenshot it. So they're the most obvious ones in my eyes, but you could definitely GPT it and find out, if I was going to be creating modules for my clients as part of this shred, what module do you think they would need to learn? And then build out content from there. Most of us have the ideas in our head, but being able to sort of articulate them and categorize them in order, that's where we need a bit of help from GPT. So just ask it and then say, oh, cool. What about this? What about one of the biggest problems I see is that people struggle to have a social life. Where can we put that in? Oh, cool. Number 7, make sure you teach people how to stay social whilst achieving their goals. Any questions on that? Who thinks they're going to do it as a presentation, like make a slideshow and then record themselves on Loom? Yeah. So that's what I do. All you need to do. So the way I do it is this is a project in Notion. You can do this in your notes if you want. The reason why I like this is because it's got 9 tasks. Each task is the way I build it out is I build out a structure presentation. So the structure is this, what we're talking about, what we're going to cover. And then what I do is I get GPT to give me the what's going to be on each slide, as well as talking notes. And then I go ahead and make the slideshow with talking notes. And then I just record myself to my camera in Loom, walking through that presentation. And that is then essentially the resource they get. This is what it looks like. And then once you've done it once, you've got it every year. So you can add notes to your Canva presentations just in here. So if you've got 2 screens, it's really awesome because you can present in presenter view and you're going to have your notes on one page and you can slide that across. So it looks like that. The other thing is you've only got one screen. I do believe you can do this with Loom though. You go to Loom and you just go custom size and you'll be able to choose what you want to share to them. So they won't actually see anything else. Would that be the hack, Mario? Yep. Cool. That's how you do it. Once you've done that, you can download the Loom and you can upload it to the guide. It looks exactly like that.
On that note, though, Brando, I think it's only the paid version of Loom that you can record over 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. But then you've also got, if you've got a Mac, you can actually do a screen record using QuickTime or something like that.
Yeah, true.
My suggestion is just do a trial of Loom, record it, and then not pay it.
Yeah. Cool. So that's there. That's there now. Like I said, I put some more information there as well. So I get some stuff from GPT, or if I've got a Notion page, you can put some extra information in there. And Bob's your uncle. You got your guides. That's the easiest way to do it. You ready to rock and roll? All right, guys. Anyone need any help for today? Anything specific, or you just want to get stuck in with a bit of thinking space and you can message us via Slack? Lovely. All right.
Thank you.
See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
Hey.